Dieter, let us discuss about the some gotchas with RIs and RI usage.
Mhm.
Uh, can you tell a little bit about the upfront costs?
Yeah, absolutely. So, especially on the RDS side, right, there is the option to have no upfront, partial upfront, so you pay half of it now, and then you're billed on an hourly basis, and all upfront, right? And when you purchase this RI, the RI will, the user interface will tell you how much you have to pay now and how much you will have to pay on an hourly basis moving forward. But it does not necessarily stress how large the number is. So it will display $100 just as easily as $1 million. So when you make then the purchase, you click on the purchase button, you just get one chance where it asks you, are you sure? And if you click that button, now you make the purchase, right? Now that said, within something like 7 to 14 days, you can open a support case and can ask AWS to cancel the purchase in case you make a mistake.
Okay. How about instance type rigidity?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So on the RDS side, when we are looking at RIs, the type, the region, and the database engine are fixed. And the RI will not work for other regions, other types, or other engines, right? So you need to get those three things correct. The size is flexible. So let's say if you have two extra large instances, you can actually purchase 8XL. So for the size, there is flexibility, and for the availability zone, there is flexibility. So for example, if you buy an RDS RI in the availability zone A, it will work for B and C in the other two zones, right? If you buy an RI in extra large, it will work, it will cover half of a 2 extra large, or it will cover 2 larges. So there is size flexibility.
And is there a marketplace to sell your unused RIs?
There is, however, there is not much liquidity on the marketplace. So when you post an RI for sale, it may take months or years or never for that RI to be sold, right? Sometimes you can get lucky and someone may just look for what you are selling, but it's not a busy marketplace. It's a very quiet marketplace, and there is not many customers shopping. So it's not something that you can rely on. There's also some limitations. AWS started limiting purchases of RIs that have enterprise discounts on January 15th in this year, so 2024. So if you get an enterprise discount, let's say 10% or something like that, any RIs that you purchase under this enterprise discount cannot be sold on the AWS marketplace.
What if we offer a steep discount in the marketplace? Even then, we won't get buyers.
No, you don't actually control the price. That would be something interesting, but you don't actually control the price, because on the AWS side, that RI is handled as a lease. So it has a certain duration, a certain capacity that you intend to use, and it comes with a price. So if you don't determine the sale price, it will be whatever the price was at the time when that RI was purchased.
Yeah, it makes sense. Otherwise, people won't go to AWS to buy RIs. They'll go to this marketplace and they might get some discount, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why maybe AWS controls that price. And how about the complexity of building and managing these RIs? When you have a lot of RIs, how complex it is to manage and manage the building?
Yeah, let's talk about that. So AWS offers a couple of tools that can help you with that, right? For one thing, there is a reservation coverage tool or report that where you can see how much of your on-demand spend is being covered by RIs. And it will give you a readout of what the percentage of the coverage is and what the dollar on-demand spend is, right? So that can be used to determine where to purchase RIs. Now, it also has a reservation utilization report. So this reservation utilization report then will show you the RIs that you purchased and how much these RIs are being used. And you can sort, of course, by lowest utilization on top, and this will then identify some RIs that you may want to investigate if you can ask AWS to help you move them into other areas.
Okay, how about the instance type? When we go with RIs, is there any limitation of the instance types we can get when compared to on-demand?
For the most part, all instance types and sizes allow RIs. There can be some exceptions for really old instance types like an M1 on M2, where there is no RIs possible. I've also seen for some service offerings like OpenSearch or Elasticache that some billing options are not available. Like you can't get it for a no upfront purchase. You can only get it partial or all upfront purchases.
How about renewing the lease? That is also has to be done very carefully, right? There shouldn't be oversight when you renew the lease.
Absolutely, you're correct. So when you have an existing lease, when it expires, you can configure your AWS account to send you an email notifying you when the lease is 90 days to expire, 30 days to expire, and 7 days to expire. You can do stuff like that, right? But if you don't configure that, the lease will just expire, and all of a sudden in Cost Explorer, you will see that your cost is doubling or something like that. Let's say you spent like $100 a day, and all of a sudden you see like $200 a day. So you might think that someone else started a RDS instance, right, and your cost doubled. But that may not necessarily be the case. In Cost Explorer, go and group by the purchase option. The purchase option will tell you how much on demand and how much was RI usage for your RDS workload, right? And you will see that when the RI expires, the RI color on the graph will disappear and be replaced by the on-demand color.
Okay, thanks, Dieter.